everyone, welcome to Jolly Molly TV. Today we're going to do another fun block and this wall hanging, which this one is called Christmas Express by Embroidery Library. This block right here is going to be the third block in this project, and it's going to be the village here with a tree and these adorable red roofs. This is going to be fun to stitch out. So let's go ahead and grab all our supplies, our fabric and our batting, and let's head over to the machine and let's get started stitching. All right, you ready for today? I am. This is going to be fun. So I've got my hoop on the machine. I've got a bobbin full of black bobbin thread down below, and I've got black thread up at the top because the fabric that I'm using for this series is black and I want it to match that for the first few steps. Okay, so bobbin thread, top thread black, hoop is on the machine with a piece of the poly no-show mesh stabilizer inside. I'm using my 8-inch hoop because my design is just slightly smaller than 8 inches. Let's go to the screen cam and load the design. If you have something similar, you can follow along. This is a Baby Lock Destiny, which is identical to the Brother Dream machine. Okay, let's go to the embroidery module. I keep everything on a flash drive, so let's go to the flash. And I have it in a folder. It's called Christmas Express Scene. And we're looking for this block right here, which is going to be so much fun. It's the buildings. I've been waiting for this one. I love buildings. So this one right here, let me go back, is called EMP 86751-1. And it's just under 8 inches, and it's 38,405 stitches. A little bit longer than the last couple blocks. This is 75 minutes of just stitch time. All right, click set. We don't have to do anything to it, and I'm going to click embroidery. Okay, now I need to add a basting stitch around the outside, so I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to look for this little flower button right here. And it's added a basting stitch around the outside edge. Click edit. We're good there. And I know from previous experience, I need to shrink this block just one little step. Let me go back. So to do that, I'm going to click return. I'm going to click edit. And I'm looking for the size button right here. And I want to do this uniformly on all 4 sides. I'm going to click it once. Okay, so it moved from 7.88 down to 7.8. It's perfect. Now it will fit in my 8-inch hoop. Click OK. Click Edit to get that done. And click Embroidery. All right, you got this. All right, let's go to the hoop cam. Okay, so let's put the foot down and we're going to stitch out the first stitch, which is the basting stitch, which we're going to use as a placement line for the batting. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to lay my batting down and I'm going to make sure I cover all sides of that placement line. Okay, we got it. And now we're going to go back to the screen cam. And I want to back up 1 stitch. See, it's gone forward. We don't want to do that. We want to go back 1 so that it stitches out that basting stitch again. All right. So let's put the foot down and let's tack down this batting. Okay, and let's take the hoop gently off the machine. And now I want you to go over to the table and I want you to trim away all of this excess batting. Use a pair of curved scissors because that way it'll keep you from poking the stabilizer down below. If you don't have any of these scissors, I have a link in my description that'll take you to Amazon where I purchased these. These are great scissors. All right, so let's do that and I'll meet you right back here when it's done. Okay, now I want to go back 1 stitch again. Back to that basting stitch because I need to stitch that one more time to tack down the fabric. And that means I need to lay my fabric down. And there we go. Covering all of that batting. Kind of center it and then feel for your batting. I can bring it over just a little bit. That looks good. And that looks good. So we're good. How about that? Let's put the foot down and let's stitch out that basting stitch, which will tack down this fabric. Okay, I didn't have the camera on that one, but you got it. We went ahead and stitched that out, tack down the fabric, and now I'm just cleaning it with some Scotch tape just to get the batting fuzz and any lint that's positioned itself here on the black fabric so it doesn't get stitched in. Okay, so we're good on that. Let's go to the screen cam. And there we go. And it's automatically moved itself to the very first stitch. And that's what we want to do. So now we're ready to get started stitching. Okay, so now I want you to get your color chart out. And the color chart, just a reminder, goes left to right. All right. So let me bring this up. This block, we're starting number 27 and we're going down to 37. So 27's root beer, left to right. 28 is blue ink. 29 is royal blue. 30 is blue jay, etc. Reminder, it goes left to right. All right. So let's grab the first color thread, which is root beer, and let's put the root beer thread on the top of your machine. And we're going to start stitching this block out. All right, so we're going to do some house shading. This is going to be fun. This is a lot of shading. This is 16 minutes in real-time shading. So I run my machine at half speed so as to not to wear out the components as much. So I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the stitch out. And you do the same. Root beer thread up on top, 16-minute stitch out. Here we go. Awesome. Look how much you did in the very first step, right? That was step number 1 for today, but it's in reality on the color chart, it's step number 27. All right. So now we're on step 28, which is blue ink. All right. Which this is going to be some ground shading around the buildings. All right. So put your blue ink thread up above. You've got this. All right. This is a 6-minute in real-time stitch out. You ready? Make sure you don't have any loops. We're good. If you do have a loop, get that loop out before you start stitching, all right? Let's stitch out some ground shading. Okay, isn't this coming along nicely? You're doing a good job. So now we're on step 29, which is royal blue, which is going to do just a tiny bit of shading right up here. And that's it. It's a 1-minute in real time stitch out. So just go ahead and put your royal blue thread up on top. This block is coming along very nicely. And you can do this already. No loop. Okay, let's put the foot down and stitch out the shading. Step 29. That was fairly easy. All right, there is a thread that I want to trim up so it doesn't get caught potentially in anything else. And then I'll put the hoop gently back on the machine. All right, so now we're on step 30, which is Blue Jay. And Blue Jay, they're going to do a lot more shading on the rest of the blue roof. Is it blue roof? Ground shading. Sorry, ground shading. So let's go ahead and put Blue Jay thread up on top. And this is a 2-minute stitch out. And we got a loop. Get that out. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Okay, now we're on step 31. Step 31 is chrome. All right, and this chrome is going to do some more highlights on the ground. All right, so go ahead and put your chrome thread up on top. I really hope you're enjoying this project. I am. I love these scenes and look forward to doing more in the future too. So look forward to more of those as we go through this year of 2026. Oh, I got a little knot at the end. So very carefully, after the needle has stopped moving, go ahead and trim that little knot off and then get the loop out. I use my stylus or my scissors, the tip, whenever I need to get those loops out. Okay, let's put the foot down. 2 minutes stitch out. Here we go. Nice. Okay, so now we're at one of my favorite parts where we're going to add barn red thread, or in my case, Christmas red, to the top of these buildings to give the roofs some life. Are you ready for this? So this is step 32, barn red, roof shading, or in my case, literally making the roofs come to life. All right, this is a 7-minute stitch out. So put whatever color red thread you want for your roofs in your machine. And let's stitch this out. Oh, we got a little loop there. Let's get that out. Okay, let's do this. Here we go. Enjoy. All right, so let's go and put our cinnamon candy thread up in the top of our machine, which is step 33, which is going to do some shading on that roof we just did. This block is coming together very quickly. Love that. All right, so put your cinnamon candy thread up on top. And this is a 7-minute stitch out. And you are doing great. Make sure there's no loop. And let's stitch this out. Here we go. Okay, I stopped the machine because it is stitching with no stitches coming out. So my hunch is my bobbin is out and my sensor didn't work. So I'm going to come over here, trim that up, trim that thread off the block, and let's take a look. Get my thread off there. Yep, empty bobbin. Yes, okay. So go ahead and get a new bobbin out, filled with black thread. And I'm going to put that in the bottom of my machine. There we go. This little guy out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to do the fun part. And that is seeing how far back I have to go. But luckily, this is shading. So if I don't hit it right and I come back a little bit more, it's not going to be noticeable at all because, again, it's shading. So let's go to the screen cam. There we go. I'm going to hit the plus and minus button. And I'm going to go back in tens until I just go over where it last stitched the shading. I like to do tens because that way I can kind of really control. There we go, where it's going to go. Click OK. If I do 100, it's going to overshoot it. Okay, and you can see it's going to start stitching right here, which is about 1 or 2 rows from where it stopped, but I went backwards so that I will overlap a little bit so there won't be any holes in the shading. All right, let's put the foot down. Yep, that looks good where it's going to start. And let's continue stitching. You got this. Nice. Okay, so now I'm going to first trim up this little straggler thread up here. There we go. And now we're on step 34. And step 34 tells me to put in my Christmas green thread because now it's time to do some trees. You realize you got this. You only have 4 color changes left, including this one. So this block has actually gone a lot faster than what you think when it says 75 minutes. It's actually going pretty quick. All right. Get that loop out. You ready? Let's make some trees. Looking good. All right, guess what? We're on step 35, which is light emerald green, which is going to do some shading just on this one tree down here. And then, like I said, we're almost done. Got this. All right, so light emerald green up on top. Make sure we don't have a loop. And we do. There we go. Let's do some highlights on this tree. Okay, now we are going to put step 36 thread up on top, and it is old gold. So I have mine in a big spool on the back of my machine. So go ahead and put your old gold thread up on top. And this is a 6-minute stitch out. We are going to do a lot of windows, and we're going to do a star tree topper as well. Oops, I got a loop. Get that out. You ready? Enjoy. Here we go. Okay, so it stopped and it's given me a message. Check and rethread upper thread. And you can actually see the gold thread has kind of like sucked itself back up. So I'm going to cut it on the top, and then it's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to walk it through the top. I don't want to pull it this way. I just want to walk it through because the thread is not meant to go back up. It's meant to come this way. Okay, so it just got a little frayed on the edge and didn't catch. Not a problem. So I'm going to grab the thread again, and I'm going to rethread the top of the machine. All right. That looks good. Oops. Clear the message. Thread the machine. Get the loop out. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit the plus and minus, and I want to go back 10 stitches. Actually, let me go back a couple more. About 15 stitches. I'm going to go back 10 more. There we go. That will overlap a little bit where it previously stitched, and this is a window, so it'll look perfect, all right? So let's continue stitching. You got this. All right, now we're on the last stitch. Isn't this great? This is step number 37, super white. And like I've said in my other videos on this series, this is where this entire block comes to life. And I'm going to really watch it because I'm getting low on thread. I should be able to get through this block, but I'm going to be watchful anyway. I have another spool of thread waiting to take over when this one does run out. But I'm just going to watch it because I'm starting to get low. And this is a 25-minute stitch out. You ready? Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy watching this block come to life. That is amazing. Look at that. Like I said, that white thread makes everything pop. This is such a cute project. I love it. Okay, so I want you to take your embroidery hoop off the machine. Go ahead and take the block out of your hoop and set it aside. I'm going to finish stitching the last 3 blocks in this project, and then I will show you how to trim everything up and assemble it. All right. Wow, this is so adorable. Just love it. So I hope you had fun today making this block. I sure did. And I hope to see you here again on Jolly Molly TV, where we'll stitch out another block in this adorable project. And until I see you next time, take care and happy stitching. Bye-bye.